Scorpio, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late May, moving into early June 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's happening for the lovely Scorpio collective. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for Scorpio gang here in late May, early June? What energies, insights, messages, all that good stuff? Let's see what's happening. And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Scorpio late May, early June. What messages, energies, all that stuff we got. Okay, very quick. This energy always reminds me of the Chariot. It's like, okay, I'm doing this. This is what I'm doing. This is where I'm going, and that's it. That's that. Mind made up, and there's a lot of forward momentum here. So it kind of fits into like the vibe I was picking up last week already, and we'll talk about that in a moment. Before we do, though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the May subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk a little bit more about this card, because it is pretty much symbolically dense. Like, if you look here at the image, we see that woman, she's walking in a certain direction. There's a big ship, it's going in a certain direction. There's the martlets, which is a mythical type of bird. They are also going in a certain direction. One thing about martlets, they don't have feet. So when I see this card that's in constant flow, constant action, it does talk about literally the things we were seeing last week, like someone making a move, deciding to do something. So for a lot of Scorpios in this time, you could have a really strong fire within you. Now that could be really good. Okay, if there's things you're trying to resolve, things you're trying to accomplish. It could also be like, if hopefully this doesn't really manifest its way in like somebody steamrolling another person. Watch your temper in this time when this card's in the mix as well. For a small portion of you, when I see this card, it could also represent travel, distance, trips, modes of transportation. So for a lot of you, there could be situations going on involving that. Okay, like you might want to take a little vacay or take a trip when that card's here. But to me, it's just so motivated, and it's like, no, I'm going this way and nothing is going to stop me. This is what it is. It's like kind of giving me that energy. So let's just leave it there. Let's get into tarot. And I always say this first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's see what we have here in tarot. Let's get you 3 in the upright before we get into the intuitive juiciness. And yeah, let's shuffle it up one time. What do we got? And while we shuffle this deck and get it ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading a little bit, my friends. It was titled Explosive Action Incoming. And the main theme that I was picking up last week was like somebody just minding their own business, doing their own thing, and then suddenly like springing into action. So whether that was you or somebody else, that was like very intense. That's what it felt like. 0 to 100, like boom, real quick. So we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone that you're linked to, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards here for Scorpio gang. What do we got? Late May, early June, Gemini season, all that good stuff. Thank you. Okay, Queen of Wands, very confident. I mean, that's a magnetic type of energy for sure. So I like when she shows up. I'm just going to put her down right there, right by the amethyst. Let's get a couple more cards out here before we talk about her. But quick. All right, yeah, the Queen of Wands. Now we have the Knight of Wands. So remember how I was speaking about that fiery energy that I was feeling? It is still here. It ain't going nowhere. That's for sure. Let's get you one more. Is it going to be the Page or the King? Who knows? What do we got for Scorpio here? All I know is there's a lot of fire. We got the Wheel of Fortune on the back end. Wow. Okay, that could be really good, but it's also in a very similar vein to the energies we've been picking up here since the beginning. So let's put that wheel down right there. I'm going to go through, give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. So at first look, first glance, I was making some commentary as the cards were popping out, but obviously when I look down here, I see the 2 court cards, which could be people, but at the same time, they're very fiery. And you know my opinion on elements. I think that they're very important in readings because it kind of informs us the way the energy is going to move. Fire energy could be very good for action, moving things forward, progress, and all that good stuff, but it's also unpredictable. You don't always know which way it's going to go. It could also be a little fiery and combustible and explosive, very similar to what we saw last week. We also have this powerful Wheel of Fortune, although good, although expansive, it moves very suddenly. So that's the one thing all three of these cards have in common. It's like they're here, there, and everywhere, or they're moving. Like there is no chill. There's zero chill in this spread so far. So let's go through piece by piece and really start to build this out. Position number one, the Queen of Wands. Beautiful energy. Now, I do always mention that every single card has positives and challenge. And I'll give you both. Now, some of you might be connected to a fire sign. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Some of you might have fire sign placements, right? I know I do. I'm a Scorpio moon with an Aries sun. But that's besides the point. When we see the Queen of Wands, if it doesn't represent a person, queens represent the inner expression of whatever suit they're in. So when we're talking about fire, I gave you a whole bunch of examples already. This queen is feeling damn good about herself. This is a card of confidence. It's beautiful. It's alluring. It's a sexy type of energy. This could represent aesthetic. So some Scorpios out there, you might be changing your wardrobe. You might be changing the way you look. You might be working out a little extra when this card is in the mix, because it's all about beauty when I see it. But at the same time, it's self-perception as well. Like how you look at yourself could be very important. Your self-confidence and how you see yourself is going to inform the people around you and how they could treat you. Much deeper, this energy is going much deeper than I thought it would before I would even explain it. Now, when it comes to the challenge of the Queen of Wands, this is somebody that could look at themselves in a not so nice light. The Queen of Wands can also be someone that's just very spontaneous. It's like it's like 0 to 100, just like we've been seeing, and it's still showing up here. Okay? Moving to the center, a little bit more of the same, right? Because when we see the Knights, they're all about the action. They're all about moving things forward. They could also be messengers, similar to the pages. So when we see the Knight of Wands, if this isn't another fire sign, you know what this is about. Fiery action. We're moving. We're making this happen. We are not stopping. We are motivated. And it's just really, really fiery. Now, that could be good, once again, but at the same time, this could be a conflict-based type of energy. I also say the Knight of Wands could represent an individual in your life that's like center of attention, loves to be the center of attention, parties it up a little too much. So, I mean, very spontaneous. That's the thing. So like all of these energies have a level of spontaneity, the unexpected attached to them. So we're going to see what's up, because when you have so much spontaneous energy, things could happen that you don't quite see coming. Now, let's get this Knight back up here by the Queen. We're getting to the back end. We have the beautiful Wheel of Fortune. Now, I always say the Wheel of Fortune to me is a good luck charm. It's the 4-leaf clover of the tarot deck. We love it when it shows up in the upright or reverse. This is a very, very positive card to me. It could represent the karmic cycles of life. So we could be seeing some karmic archetypes here as well, but I just think of it as very expansive. So in regards to motivation, if you haven't been really motivated lately, or your energy levels have been low, when I see this expansive energy with all this fire, just know like it's going to just really come back, like double the strength. The Wheel of Fortune, it shifts suddenly. That's the one thing I say. So it's unexpected, it's surprising, it's sudden. So whether things shift for the good, bad, or indifferent, like it's moving quick and it's not settling down. As I said, this is a zero chill type of spread so far. So I want to dive deeper on all of it, Scorpio. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. Let's see what we got. My guides and spirit team. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Queen of Wands. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Scorpio, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Queen of Wands time. What's she have to say? Why is that Queen of Wands here? Okay, again, now the deck is being very specific with the cards that it's going to throw out here. Okay. Who is this? Who is this individual here? Okay, so we have the moon card in the upright. This person's very hard to read. Okay, so listen, this feels like prototypical Scorpio energy if I've ever seen it. And as you guys know, Scorpio moon, yeah, I say it every damn week. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to keep saying it. But when we have the moon card, it's a veiled type of energy. It's hidden. It's not really showing things. So when I see the Queen of Wands with the moon, this is someone that's like, you know what? They don't need to know that. They don't need to know this piece of information. They don't need to know how I feel about myself. They don't need to know my plans. They don't need to know a goddamn thing. That's how this is feeling, which once again, very Scorpio type like of energy. We don't, I'm not saying we don't trust people easily, but it takes a lot for a Scorpio to let someone in. So whether this is a person popping up out of nowhere, like for a lot of Scorpios, this could be a person that comes in, there's like a crazy magnetism going on here. But if that's not the case, you might be, I don't want to say hiding your true methods and feelings, but if you're protective in general, just know that in the coming days and weeks, it's like double, triple, okay? The moon card, aside from what I'm already giving you intuitively, like your protectiveness might be through the roof, or there's just something that you feel like someone doesn't need to know right now for whatever reason. I'm not going to judge, but when I see the moon card, it's the unexpected too. Okay, so with all this fire, now we have this unexpected, surprising type of energy. I really want to see how it elapses throughout the rest of the reading. This could be something really good coming in too, all right? Like, I'm not saying it's not. So aside from that message of being extra protective and skeptical, I do feel like there could be something coming your way, whether a situation or something different where it's like you didn't quite see it coming, and it's very hard to catch a Scorpio unprepared. Let's keep moving forward. Let's keep moving forward. I don't want to stick here too much. Yeah, Pisces energy too. You might be connected to Pisces. But let's see why the Knight of Wands is here, because now we're getting into the action. Now we're getting into the action. Now we're getting into the expansiveness. So let's see what shows up. Still, all of these cards out so far do have an element of surprise to them. Okay, so let's see what that Knight of Wands has to say. Thank you. Yep. Withholding. Okay, so for a lot of you, we have the Three of Swords in reverse here underneath. Now, I do feel somebody like purposely trying a whole variety of things to make themselves feel better, make themselves feel good. Now, I'm not saying that's you. This could be someone that you're connected to, and whether it's them socializing and doing this and doing that, it's like someone who's trying everything they can just to make sure they feel better, make sure they feel okay or good. Take that for what it's worth. That's the first thing that popped up to me intuitively. Another thing I can say, now we're adding air to the mix. There is this still very surprising type of energy where there could be certain situations where you don't know how it's really going to turn out. Where it's like, all right, well, you might not know this person's intentions, what they want to do, or how they want to go about something. And we have the Knight of Wands with the Three of Swords, and it's like, well, I don't know what I should do if I don't know what their intentions are. So to me, it just feels like there could be a situation or something that's like up in the air for now. And I think we're going to get a little more clarity on how things are going to turn out when we get to the back end. Everything just feels obscured and up in the air for whatever reason. Not necessarily in the worst way. The energy is still moving. The energy is not stuck. It just feels like, you know, when you flip a coin in the air and it's tumbling through the sky, it's like mid-tumble right now. I mean, I know I'm giving all sorts of these messages, very different than what I usually get. But either it's a situation up in the air, or this is someone that's doing and trying everything to make themselves feel better, which could be good, right? Like, you shouldn't make yourself or want to feel bad or feel worse. Let's keep moving, whether it's exercise or socializing. Let's see what the Wheel of Fortune's about. Then we'll review the whole thing, right? Because I feel like there's so much energy that's obscured and so much energy that's still up in the air. So let's see what that wheel has to say. Why is the wheel in the mix? Quick, very first, yeah. Okay, yeah, well, you already kind of know something's coming, and I feel like it's extremely positive. So for a lot of Scorpios, you might receive some really good news. What is being obscured from you will not be obscured forever, that's for sure. We have the Page of Wands. Notice we have almost the whole damn Wands family here. The only one we're missing is the King of Wands. Now, pages, they represent forward movement, they represent action, they're communicators, they are students. So when I see this Page of Wands underneath the Wheel of Fortune, I do feel for a lot of you, every single one of these cards has that element of surprise. Something is going to turn out unexpectedly well or surprisingly good. So for a lot of you, if you do have a situation that's kind of hanging in the balance, or you don't know how it's going to go, or there's some confusion around it, I feel like it's going to go way better than you think. So this is like a surprising winner victory, or an unexpected one in a big way. And once again, I feel for a lot of you with this Page of Wands underneath this Wheel of Fortune, either someone's coming at you quick, someone's coming at you really hot and heavy, or you're going to be receiving some really, really good news soon. And listen, I know it doesn't have to be life-changing. It doesn't mean every Scorpio on the planet's life is going to change in a huge way. I just feel like this news, this communication, whatever it is, it's going to really put you at ease at the very least. So let's go through and do a quick recap here, Scorpio, because this reading had a whole bunch of different things going on, and it still does. I feel like I can continue to pull messages from this if I wanted to. But if you kindly look in the box here, again, overall, when we look at the whole kit and caboodle, we have the Queen of Wands, the Knight of Wands, the Page of Wands, we have the Wheel of Fortune, we have the Moon, the Three of Swords in reverse. I feel like every single one of these cards have an unpredictability connected to them. But position number one, we have the Queen of Wands with the Moon in the upright. So this is someone obscuring their feelings or not letting anyone know how they feel. Keeping my feelings to myself, keeping how I feel about myself or a situation. I'm not speaking about it. So for a lot of Scorpios, you could be very skeptical or extra protective in this time, okay? Whether it's about yourself or just something you're going through. It's like, no, I don't feel like I need to say that just yet. Something will come to the surface though eventually, because when we get to the center, we have the Knight of Wands with the Three of Swords, also obscuring, but in a different way. I feel like this could be somebody doing all sorts of things to keep their mind off something or to make themselves feel better, whether it's physical activity or socializing or partying or whatever you want to call it. It's just someone trying to keep themselves busy. But another thing I was picking up is like a situation could be up in the air, or a situation will be up in the air where it's a little unpredictable how it's going to go. Onto the back end, we have the Wheel of Fortune with the Page of Wands. There's big communication coming in. Clarity will be coming in as well. For a lot of you, this could be really exciting news that you're going to receive. But for the most part, I said this feels like a surprising, unexpected winner victory. It feels really, really good. So whatever that might be up in the air is probably going to have a very good result for you. So please take a screenshot. Let's see what's in the shadows now. I mean, I like it overall. I'll claim it for myself. I'll take it. Let's see what's in the shadows for Scorpio and God's Spirit team. And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you, something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge, though. They could be a good thing. So let's get you one. What do you got for Scorpio, please? Oh, and yes, if you've made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. I really do. All right, let's get this shadow card out here for you, my friends. What do we got? Let's wrap this up nice and easy. Okay, we have the Four of Cups, so there is the little bit of mental activity going on, and I kind of like this to cap this reading off, because ever since the beginning, like with this energy, it's like, no, I'm doing this. And then with all this stuff we have going on, it felt like a lot happening. This Four of Cups is time to reflect, if that makes sense. So for some Scorpios out there, this could be Spirit literally telling you, like, hey, maybe you just need some time to think on it, or to reflect on something, or put your thoughts and feelings together within yourself. That could be showing up here in the front end too, aside from all the messages I already gave. The Four of Cups is a discontent type of energy too. So some Scorpios out there might be a situation where you're just discontent with it at the moment. You might be a little disgruntled, but a big thing with this card is to not overthink. So Spirit could be giving us all a very clear message. Easier said than done, not to overthink something or to think it into the ground, not to do that. So interesting way to cap this off. I feel like contemplation is needed. So we're just going to put that right there, Scorpio. That's what I have for you this week, my beautiful friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the May subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a one-on-one personal reading with me, you could check out my digital calendar at mastermetaphysics.com. But for the May subscriber surprise, we're doing a winner's choice this month, my friends. 2 lucky subscribers will get their choice of either the Everyday Witches Tarot, which is a wonderful deck. It's one of my favorites. Or you can choose a crystal pendant of your choice from my website. They're homemade. The energy is luscious. They're beautiful. So it's winner's choice there. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments where in the world you are from. You don't have to give me your home address or anything like that. It could be your country, state, province, whatever it might be. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you again soon.